Good morning and welcome to another view from the cab. Trending on Twitter this morning was the hashtag ease the lockdown, and it was basically people concerned about the easing of the UK lockdown and what it might mean, and the second wave that we've all heard about in this awful coronavirus problem. And basically my views on it are, well, what lockdown? It wasn't really much of a lockdown to start with. You know, there were so many caveats put in place, so many clauses, so many conditions. As you can see now, there's still people running around. There's still a lot of people out and about. My job that I'm doing now is, I suppose, classed as key worker status, because the school bus I'm driving is for key workers' children to go to school if needs be. I've probably mentioned this before. So if any school children have got parents that are doing a highly important job of doctors, nurses, policemen, paramedic, firemen, you name it, the highly important jobs, the list goes on. Doctors, nurses, policemen, they're the top ones that I can think of off the top of my head. So that's why this job is still continuing. But these people running around here now, I don't want to sit in judgment. I don't want to say, they don't look like key workers, but there's a lot of people out and about. The lockdown hasn't really, the police as usual were given the responsibility of policing it basically, but then they had all their teeth taken out, and they, whatever the trouble is, whatever the police do, they're damned if they do and they're damned if they don't. There was people in a park in London, I think in Lambeth, I can't remember, Brockwell Park I think, and there was about 3,000 people there apparently, all sunbathing and lounging around, and the police said, look, this isn't on, you can't be doing this. So naturally there was an uproar about that. People were then grizzling because the police had dared to tell them that you're only supposed to be out and about for your daily exercise, not lounging around in the park socialising. The UK lockdown has been a bit Mickey Mouse, really, like everything in this country. The only thing we're good at over the rest of Europe is having the most coronavirus deaths, and that's not really an accolade that you want to boast about. We've had the most deaths out of all of Europe. We're the European champions at COVID-19 fatalities. That's not really a boast, is it? That's a bit shameful, really. If everybody had done as they were told. I mean, I've seen my neighbours, have gardeners come in, have relatives come round to stay, visitors, and you think this is just never going to end. This lockdown, this virus is never going to end. All the time people can't just do as they're told. I don't understand why people simply can't do as they're told and stay indoors. And it leads me on to think, if the people here now was in World War II with the Blitz and the blackout, we wouldn't have survived. We simply wouldn't have survived World War II with this current group of people we've got living here now, because you'd always have to have one that wanted his front room light on and his curtains open, or wanted a barbecue with the floodlights on, or there'd always be somebody, and that's the problem with this country. People can't just do as they're told, do as requested, do as ordered. All you've got to do is sit in your house and drink tea, put your feet up. If you don't drink tea, drink coffee. If you don't drink coffee, drink something else. Just sit down. Yes, it's boring. Yes, it's tedious. Yes, it's Trumpy, but it's for the greater good of everybody. This Chatham now is a busy town. It's not not even a third, an eighth as busy as it usually is at this time of the day, 7:15. But there's still a lot of people out and around, out and about. I don't get it. Behind me, I can see at least 4 cars following me down the road. All people have to do is just stay indoors. Yes, you're allowed out in your garden. Yes, you're allowed out for your exercise once a day. And it's quite simple, really. Boris Johnson was actually, he didn't use any of that normal politician speak that politicians are so famous for. He said it directly. You're only allowed out to go out to the chemist or pharmacy for essential medicines. You've run out of food in your house, then you're allowed to go to a large supermarket chain. And it's just people. I don't know whether they're just thick or just don't care. I don't understand what the problem is. These people that are having gardeners in, they're phoning their gardener saying, "Can you come round and cut my grass?" The gardener should be saying, "No, because we're in a lockdown. I'm not allowed out because my job, cutting grass, is not essential." That's what the gardener should be saying. Not, "Oh yeah, well there's a few quid in it, I'll come round straight away." People, I just don't know whether they're just stupid or ignorant or what it is. I just don't understand it. I just simply don't get it. The lockdown. Look how busy it is down here. This should be a ghost town along here. For the most part, I think a lot of people have obeyed the lockdown instructions. But then a big part of me knows, because I've been out and about driving for work. All my free time has been spent in my house. It's quite a simple request, really. Stay indoors. Stay indoors. Save lives. Protect the N.H.S. It's simple. It's so easy. But no, people in this country don't like to be told what to do. Nobody likes to be told what to do. But people have just got to do it. Ease the lockdown. Well, to be honest, I don't think it ever really started. Somebody said to me the other night, "Oh, the police have been stopping loads of people." Well, no, they haven't. In my role as a key worker bus driver, I've not seen anybody get pulled over yet, and I've driven around quite a lot over the last few weeks, and I've not seen the police pull a single person over yet. And I've been around. So look at these people here on the right. You can't tell me they all live in the same house. A big group of people, so half a dozen people there just standing around together, no social distancing. Why can't people just get it through their thick heads? Social distancing, just stand 6 feet apart. It's not difficult. You can still hear what somebody says from 6 feet. It's not, it's not rocket science. It's not brain surgery, but it is life and death. It really is. I certainly don't want to be carrying this disease, because as we all know, you can carry the virus, but may not necessarily get the virus. So I don't want somebody giving me the virus and then I pass it on to somebody else. Having that on your conscience for the rest of your days. You caused some. There's more people there now, all walking along together. I just don't understand why it's so difficult to get your head around. I just really don't get it. People just need to stay indoors. It's as simple as that. Stay in your house. All of my free time has been spent indoors. Yes, it's boring. Yes, it's Trumpy. There's only so much YouTube you can look at. There's only so much Facebook you can look at. There's only so many video games you can play, you know. But for the love of God, just do something. Read a book if you can read a book, you know. Just stay in. I don't understand it. You see it on Twitter all the time about people bleating about these mass gatherings, and you know, just stay in your house. I can't, you know, Boris Johnson couldn't have made it any clearer. You know, he couldn't have said it any more concisely if he tried. But still, the people of the UK, and now of course we've got the horrible accolade of most coronavirus deaths in Europe. Well done UK, aren't we a bunch of heroes? You know, Italy was slammed hard by this awful virus. Italy had it handed to them. I remember looking at the you know, the totals as they was coming out, and I was thinking those poor Italians have really they took a caning from COVID-19. They really have. You know, and the deaths in Italy were just skyrocketing. And I remember thinking, wow, they have really, they took it hard. But no, the UK doesn't like to be beaten by anybody. No, we simply must have more than anyone else of anything. It doesn't matter what it is. You know, it doesn't matter what it is. We've got to win. Well, this is one fight I think we really should have took a back seat on and tried to lose. You know, we really should have tried to lose this particular quest. You know, I'm disappointed in the whole thing. More roadkill on the road there. That makes me sad as well. But there you go. That's a part of life, isn't it? So, on that rather sad and depressing note, you know, all the 29,000 odd people that have, was it 29,427, I think. Just think of those people and think of their families that have been left, you know, and we just have to hope that the deaths just stop and we get more recoveries than fatalities. That's really what we've got to hope for. So on that rather sad, depressing note, that's my view from the cab for this morning.